Everyone, Ray Alfalla here with the fixed setup and the V car at Bristol. Late afternoon setting. Here we are coming to take our hot lap. We're going to be running the highline around this track, taking the green right here, entering turn 1. Actually got a little bit loose entering the corner there. Aggressive on the throttle, using a little bit of brake. Again, up to the wall. That'll complete the hot lap. Now we're going to go back and kind of look at our braking points here and whatnot. Entering turn 1, you can kind of, there's no specific braking point that I use here, but when the bottom of the safer barrier turns red, is kind of a good point to start, thinking about the corner, thinking about backing off. And then just a little bit of brake, because there's so much banking to hold the car that you just need maybe get 10% brake a little bit. And then from there, I kind of messed up on the entry right there a little bit, but back on the throttle really aggressively. Again, down the backstretch, there's not really a braking point necessarily. It's just kind of trial and error, and eventually you kind of figure out where you need to back off. Again, maybe just a little bit of brake, 10% maybe. Slow the car down a little bit. The rest is done, just by the banking, and then you can go pretty fast through the corner. Pretty aggressive on the throttle, and yeah, that's 14.89 for hot lap. Now we're going to jump 20 laps at a time, since the laps around this track are only about 15 seconds long. At this point, we've fallen off about half a second, not much. Still kind of running the high line. This track is progressively banked, and the high line will be used the most. You can make the bottom work sometimes, and especially if with the dynamic track and whatnot, the groove may change a bit during a race. But as you can see, I generally go into the corner and I leave a little bit of space between myself and the wall. Just to kind of bring it up in the center of the corner. There's a bump right there, and if you're already up next to the wall and you hit that bump, it'll shoot you right into it. And then on exit, you can kind of start coming down a little bit. You can do this more in 3 and 4. Go into the corner, kind of let it go up a little bit, and then you can really point it back down on exit, and that'll kind of help you shoot straight up off the corner. That's lap 20. Now starting lap 40, running around 15.4, so 6 or 7 tenths off from a hot lap. Again, the car hasn't changed too much as far as the handling goes. Be careful with those bumps on corner entry, and again, pretty aggressively on the throttle. I'm going to replay that lap. At this point, there's less front grip entering the corner, less grip in general from our hot lap, so you can use, maybe like 20% brake. And then once you get on the throttle right there, you can see I'm not as aggressive as I was on the hot lap. I'm getting on it maybe 50 or 60% initially, then slowly getting back into full throttle. And again, this is the late afternoon setting, so the track has more grip than the normal afternoon, especially down in turns 1 and 2 with all that shade. That's lap 40. Now starting lap 60, we've dropped off maybe a couple more tenths. Not much fall off here. This is what I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of grip in general, just because the late afternoon, the track temperature is not much hotter than ambient. But also on the track, it's good to pay attention to where the shadows are on the track. Turn 2 right here, for example, has a lot more grip than turn 4, as it's in the shade, so it's pretty cool. And then entering turn 3 right there, still in the shade, and then as soon as you hit the sunlight, the sunlit part here, turn 4 does not have the same amount of grip. The car tends to step out a little bit more right there, as you can see right there. I had to correct just because it lost a little bit of grip compared to the exit of turn 2. That's completing lap 60. Now to start our last lap. Running around a 15.6 at this point. Pulling off about 8 tenths. Again, trying to keep it up pretty high, as there's more banking up there than on the bottom. Pretty aggressive on the throttle. That's completing 80 laps with the fixed setup at Bristol, the B car.